Hi, I'm glad you're here. Sometimes our attachment to our way of praying can hinder our spiritual growth. Your prayer life should not become so fixed that you cannot be open to new ways of experiencing God's presence. Learning to listen for God in silence may or may not be the way in which you pray. But remember that prayer without silence and listening is only a one-way street. You might feel a little strange or uncomfortable with the silence, and that's okay. God can surprise you sometimes and show up in ways that you don't normally expect. Cultivating silence also helps you become aware of the contents of your heart and your mind. It helps you deal with what the desert dwellers referred to as your passions or your wounds. And your wounds are the deep places in your heart that are asking for healing. During the silence, your afflictive thoughts and emotions can arise, and that's okay, such as fear and worry and anxiety and stress, judgmentalism, guilt. The invitation as they arise is to accept them and then let them go. Send them on to the path, to the heart of Christ or God. That is the training. So you have to train your heart and your mind to learn how to let go. What happens as a result is this helps create a space in your heart for God's welcoming love, grace, and mercy. You begin to develop an open, receptive heart, a hospitable heart, a welcoming heart. Now, of course, this journey requires patience. The desert dwellers tell us that it takes a long time to become a human being. A lot of waiting is required to heal the wounds of our human heart. Isaiah tells us in chapter 64, verse 4, that God acts on behalf of those who wait for him. God acts on behalf of those who wait for him. And Jesus tells us in Luke 12:32, it is God's great pleasure to give you the heavenly kingdom. The heavenly realm opens up and pours into a welcoming heart. So to prepare for our practice, please find a comfortable position with a straight back and an open chest. An open chest just indicates your desire to receive. And we'll do a little breath work first. We're going to do what's called 1-2 breathing, where you breathe in. We're going to breathe in to the count of 4 and breathe out to the count of 8. So the invitation here is you breathe out twice as long as your inhalation. And the purpose of that is the longer exhalations actually can stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, which puts the brakes on our nervous system. It is what calms the mind and the body down. And that is why breath work is so important. So I'm going to just start doing a breathing in a count of 4, and you breathe from your abdomen all the way up to here, breathing out to the count of 8. If you want to do a longer 5, 10, 6, 12, that's fine. But we'll just do that for a couple of cycles. So we're going to breathe in to the count of 4. Breathe out to the count of 8. Breathe in to the count of 4. Out to the count of 8. Now you're invited to set your intention. Make your intention to God or Jesus to be clear. God or Jesus, it is my intention to be with you right now. I consent to your presence and your action in my life. You're invited to close your eyes and gently lay your hands in your lap, palms up, which is another way of receiving. There will be several pauses for silence throughout the meditation, and as always, you are invited to continue in the silence at the end of the video presentation. Praying with Scripture allows you to bring your heart to God, and it allows the words to become a vehicle for your transformation. Gently say to yourself, "It is God's great pleasure to give me the heavenly kingdom." It is God's great pleasure to give you the heavenly kingdom. It is God's great pleasure to give you the heavenly kingdom. Just let those words carry you into the holy presence. Now visualize the heavenly realm pouring into the arena of your heart as a light. See a path of light from your heart into the heart of God or Christ. As you see this path of light, ask God or Jesus to help you know what you need to let go of, to make space in your heart to receive this healing light. If you can't see the light image, just know that it is there. Just like the sun sets at the end of the night, you can no longer see the sun, but the light is always there. What are you invited to let go of? What is blocking you from receiving this healing light? Is it unworthiness, shame, guilt, anguish, despair, lack of trust, or hope? Spend a few minutes in silence and allow what needs to arise simply to arise. Whatever arises, just give yourself permission to gently let go and send this emotion or this negative thought through the path of light onto the heart of Christ or God. As your heart continues to fill with this radiant, healing light and love, allow whatever it is within you that needs healing, whether you are aware of it or not. Any pain, discomfort, let it be known by the light in the love of God. Sooner or later, we give in to the light that draws us and invites us to be known as we are, as you are. Now, as this light of Christ shines into your heart, allow the light to form a circle around you. You are now invited to expand the light around your family, your friends, those that you pray for, your neighbors, like the little boys outside of my window, your city. Let the light expand to include our country and our world with all of its pain and suffering. And let us give thanks for the light that unites us as one in God's love. May the light in your heart beat with the heart of the world. Welcome home.